But I'm excited because I finally shared with you guys my setup, some behind the scenes of my filming days. And as you can see, it's just as complex for me as it is for anybody else. Like in total today, I'd say it took me a little over an hour to get everything set up, including my hair and everything, maybe an hour and a half. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. It took about an hour and a half. I'm thinking after this, like after I shoot my videos today, to probably leave the camera set up on a tripod at this exact height and probably keep the lights set up at this exact height and just stuff it all into a corner, because it's not lazy. It's more so that when you're doing your creative stuff and you're working on your channel or whatever content creation things you do or platforms you're on, it's a lot of work to set everything up, and it can kind of leave you feeling like unmotivated to finish the process, because like once you finish that, you're like, well dang, do I even want to film anymore? And a lot of times it happens to me, and that's why I did the behind the scenes, to show you guys like, hey, if you really want to do this, you're gonna have to really do it for real. Another thing is the camera setup. You got your lip gloss on, or you know, if you're a guy, you done shaped your beard up or did whatever you got to do to look good for the camera. I strongly advise you that while you're in the flow of things, while you're mic'd up, while you're in front of your phone, in front of your camera, while the lights are on, just go ahead and knock out your other videos. If you have even just one more that you can push yourself to shoot the video. I'm gonna tell you why. Last week when I did the other video, the very first portion of the accountability session, it was called planning. I had the camera up, I had the lights up, and I was like, Janae, film the content, right? Film it, film it, film it. I got interrupted. I promised myself and lied to myself and said I was gonna come back and film the other stuff. I never filmed it. Weeks have gone by. And now what am I doing? I'm playing rush. And I do not like that. So that is my other tip. Film the other videos. Please get into the habit of content batching. I have had people email and text me and say, you know, thank you so much for sharing that with me. It helped me a lot because I did get sick or I got a cold, and I was able to just drop my video without having to get in front of the camera or sick or trying to edit while I was sick. And if you want to be consistent with your content, I'd highly recommend it. So I'd go as far into the technicalities of these things as you'd like me to go. I'm just sharing my process with you. In regards to the camera is on movie mode, and I am shooting in manual mode on movie mode. I don't do auto because the ISO, the aperture, the shutter speed, and all that stuff changes accordingly with your environment. So for example, if I'm filming in the living room and it gets bright out there in the living room, the camera will change at moment's notice to make up for the environment. I don't like that, because when I'm filming, you can see the changes taking place. You can see it getting lighter and darker, and it makes it very hard to color grade and color correct your footage. Literally, type into YouTube or Google, whether you're a reader or a more visual person, exposure triangle. If you have a camera, take some time out to understand and learn what exposure triangle is. In regards to your phone, you can do the same thing. You can put your phone in manual and you can play around with the exposure, the settings, and different things like that to achieve the same look. There is a way to do it. So, you know, people have told me like, well, everybody's not using the camera. Once again, do your research. There are ways to have manual exposure on your camera. As far as like shooting, I recommend shooting in 4K if you can. If not, I really strongly believe that the lowest you should go is 1080p. Why 1080p? Because you can still export your footage in 4K and the footage will still be fine. This does less compressing on the YouTube or social media side of things, but it's very important to look up the settings that the social media platform is calling for. So for me, I shoot in 4K, right? And if I ever shoot in 1080p, which I've had to do, or I deal with a lot of 1080p for client work, I do export their footage in 4K because it looks the best, because once YouTube or whatever social media platform compresses the footage, it still will look as crisp and clear as it can possibly get. Now, if a client is working off of limited storage, or they're not good with managing files, or they don't understand how all that stuff works, I keep it at 1080p because that footage can be too much for some people. I've literally sent people footage and they can't open it, or it takes too long on their computer. It might take them hours, and on my computer it might take me 5 to 10 seconds. I have the software, the storage, and the space for it. So work within your means. People ask me a lot about the microphones. I need microphones, I need lights. Sure, if you don't have a microphone or lights, my recommendation for the microphone portion is to try to talk within an arm length of your phone or camera, because that is going to get you the best audio. Obviously, if you're shooting in somewhere where there's less furniture, or there's empty, or there's nobody there, it is going to sound hollow. But depending on what type of software you're using or what type of editing app, there are different ways to enhance or play with this audio. There are so many different hacks and tricks and tips out there to fix the audio. Like when I didn't have the microphone, which I would say I got around September, I was doing Dr. Dre productions on all my audio. I still have some audio to this day that sounds really bad and I don't like it. And it's actually some of my highest performing videos. So don't let it stop you, but don't let it be a thing either. If the audio sounds bad and you know it sounds bad, eventually you want to invest in something that can help you sound good. My honest recommendation, if you're shooting from your camera, is to record the audio into your phone. Now, if you're using your phone, you obviously can't do that. So I'd recommend getting a little recorder from like Staples, or there's places that sell, you know, the little digital recorders, and you just speak into that, because you can take that separate audio and you can kind of play around with it a lot more. So for a long time, I had a separate recorder and a microphone that I used, but it was all with cords, so it was very annoying. So like, for example, with a setup like this in a small space, I'd have my lights and I'd have my camera, and then I'm trying to worry about all these cords and stuff that are dangling all over. I couldn't travel. So when I was making the work from home vlogs, I know you guys remember, but when I made the work from home vlogs, I was talking and leaving the camera a lot, and I didn't like how that audio sounded, but I still put the footage out anyway, because hey, like, you gotta make it do what it do. Oh, my legs hurt. Another thing is, I'm in a rush today, right? I have a lot of things that I want to accomplish or do today, but I'm not going to rush this process. I feel like people can tell when you're rushed and when you're making a video just to make a video. So I try to take my time out and really capture some of the questions and the things that I feel like people have or bothers people in regards to the process, because these are questions that people have asked me. I still get nervous or get the jitters. So when I rush, I feel that angst and anxiety of just trying to finish just to finish, and I don't like it. And when I edit, I don't like it, because I'm like, what was I talking about? I'm rushing through the footage so fast. Through speaking so fast that I'm missing a lot of valid points. So I understand we're all busy. I understand we have jobs. I understand some of us don't work from home, or, you know, have the ability to have the time. But if you're going to make the time count for something. When you film, I want you to get into the mindset that comparison is not going to be your friend during this journey. When you turn the camera on, what is your goal? What made you want to create? Like, why did you turn the camera on? You did it for a reason. And then what you do is you go start watching and listening to other stuff, or people, you know, commenting on things. And you start to feel like, you know, hey, maybe my content is not good enough. Over time, if you're consistent and you're genuine about what you're delivering your content on, whether it's entertainment, fun, whatever, etc., you will find your audience, and people will gravitate to you and like your style for your style. I've had videos that I filmed that people found very boring. They didn't want to watch. They didn't care about nothing I was talking about. And I found people that love the videos, that, you know, just can't stop watching, that have binge watched the videos at work and everything like that. So you'll find your people, you'll find your audience. Do not allow your low subscriber count or your low views, or just, you know, all this great stuff you see out there that people are creating, allow you to make you feel like you shouldn't put your content out. And that was one of the mindsets that I had to get into. Like, I have so much I want to say, and I just have to share it. I did struggle with how, like, what was my delivery going to be like and stuff like that. But I was just like, I can only deliver the content the way that I really speak. You know, there were times when I was trying to be super technical, super articulate, because I wanted to appeal to a certain audience. And I could still do those things, don't get me wrong, like, that's what I do, but it just was missing something. Like, I never wanted to feel like a bot. So when you get on the camera, move your hands around, take breaks, drink your water, drink your coffee. Like, there's even times when the camera's still rolling and I sit down because I'm tired, and I'll have like a quick little snack or a quick little pick me up, or I'll walk off the camera. All of this stuff can be edited. You don't have to be perfect when you're filming, but it's important that you turn the camera on and get to filming. If you guys have any questions about this part of the process, let me know. If there was anything else I could dive deeper into, let me know. But honestly, you need not overthink it. You need to find you a nice quiet area where you can focus, distraction free, turn the phone calls off. That's what I had to do, and get your butt in front of the camera and get to filming. I look forward to hearing from you guys. I'm wishing you guys all the best on your journey, and I'll talk to you next time.